Okay, welcome to the colinfurze channel, people. So then, basically, I'm digging a secret underground tunnel below my workshop. I am now 3.5 meters down. This is as deep as I need to go. The next part of this is we need to start going sideways. That way towards my underground bunker, and that way towards my house. Now then, we're having to do this in stealth, so this part of the project has got to be done in complete silence. We need to make some tools, some equipment, so we can break this rock face, making no noise whatsoever. Yeah. There's a challenge. Now then, before we do all that, we've got to bend some bits of metal up, make some arches to put on here, so we've got a bit of a plan, bit of a profile, because as we go forward, of course, we need to be able to hold up the rock above us so it doesn't collapse. Got to get that sorted and then work on my hydraulic motors and rock crushing implements. Right, let's get on with it.
Hold me close as I lie dying in your arms and feel the heartbeats in your chest. Don't grieve for me as I lie dying in your arms. Watch me take my final breath. What a perfect way to die.
That's got some arches up. We just need some silent digging apparatus. Right, proper quiet, super stealth. So stealth, even I don't even know I'm doing it. What?
I guess now I see that you'll be in death, but we finally free. I'll hold you close as you lie dying in my arms and watch the stars fade from your eyes. I swear you one thing that I never meant you harm beneath this shroud of burning skies.
Right, we have the ultimate system now. 240-volt hydraulic pump which sits at the top. Silent, just sits there whirring away. Click into that, the winch. That doesn't make a noise. I've attached that on the underside of the hatch. So basically you lift it up, you click it in, you're good to know. It's all controlled off a switch on a very long wire, so I can even control it from down here or we control it from up there. Beautiful. Now, as well as that, remember this thing from the last video? I've basically kind of added a long tail to it, welded a nice long pole which is adjustable so we can stretch it out. That can basically pin itself in between, push itself into the rock face and break it, all in complete silence. We basically will hang this off the winch as well so I can get it at the right height, move it around nice and easy. I've not got to try and lift it up and lump it around, which is one of the problems it was with before. Right then, let's give it a test. I'm going to have to do all this on time lapse because there is barely any room in here to have a camera and a tripod, as you can see. Okay, first digging session done. One thing I've learned, going sideways is a hell of a lot easier than going down. This works an absolute treat. Genius move, Furze, top marks. In fact, we've used it so much, I've had to strengthen it up slightly because we did actually bend it. But it's all good, it's good and powerful. There is nothing it won't push through. Solid rock, it just moves it, shoves it all out of the way. Now, of course, this bit here, this is the danger zone. We always knew, didn't we, that this would be the dangerous part of the project, going sideways. And I kind of devised my own little set of rules that we'd never stand under anything that wasn't fully supported. So, what we're going to do, we're going to slip roll some 3mm plate, and then we're going to use old Bess here to push it through the ground, and then we'll weld it across this edge, and then that will support it as we're going along. Then we can kind of scrape out underneath it, you know, weld all the edges up and whatnot, and that should be good. So we'll never be going under anything that hasn't got any metal above us. That is the plan. Because the problem is this is a massive weak spot because we've got an open edge and then the bit that we're going under and it can just fall off basically. And we did open it up this morning and there was a lump of it on the floor, which is kind of nerve-wracking. Right, so slip roll a bit of metal, push it in, weldy weldy, more diggy outy.
I've seen you walking around, I've seen you out before. Yeah, I recognize your voice, I've heard you through the floor. Now tell me how you feel. You felt like this before. You felt what I've been feeling, 'cause I can't take much more.
well, this bit didn't quite shove in how I wanted it to. You know, the image in my head of just pushing it in nicely like it's going through a bit of cheese didn't quite happen. We have got it in now, and it doesn't feel like it's going to go anywhere. So basically we've started chimbling down here, getting it all flat, chimbling down there. I'm going to take a little bit more off this bottom bit, and then we can get the old rammy thing, shove it in here up to there, and then push that corner in nicely, get a nice bit of bar across. Same here, this one needs lifting up a bit here. Shove that up, get the downrights down, get it all welded up, meshed up, safe, back a bit more.
Oh, yeah. Tell me what you wanna do, 'cause I don't care what I do. Now show me what you wanna see. Show me how and I'll show you me.
How the hell are we getting this out?
Show me what you wanna see. Show me how and I'll show you me.
Right, so I've got all these ooking massive bits to do something with. So I'm using my hydraulic pointy thing to split them in half. Okay, we're about 1.5 meters down. We're getting the systems down now. We know exactly what we're doing. Now I've brought the pump and the welder and everything down here now, so it's completely silent. That's all good, but we're learning. We've got different seams. We've got our clay seam at the top here. We've got our compressed clay and limestone seam here, loose limestone, and then big lumpy rock hard bits of limestone. Now basically, to move forward, you get your crowbar with the handle on. You can pick away at the loose limestone. That all drops up, makes like this kind of cheek thing here, which looks like it's going to collapse on you, but it doesn't. Basically, you get old Bessie underneath, you push that up, it breaks all that off, makes it all fall down, nice and easy, nice and quiet. Then, after that, you square off the roof, square the edges off in the corners, push a bit of metal up, get it all welded up, push a bit of plate up, you're then safe to work underneath it, and then you can go in, take the big limestone out. Once that's all gone, stick your upright down, bosh, you're another 400mm forward, and you start it all again.
Why are you feeling so insecure? You're sleeping in Hollywood, the city that was nobody insecure. You ran so far away, a picture might save the day, but only served to save me from myself.
Now see this bit with these big bits of rock is like a jigsaw puzzle that you can only do one way, only you're doing it in reverse, so you have to take it out in a certain way, because essentially you end up wiggling bits around trying to work out, well, I can't get that one out till that one's gone, that one won't come out until that bit's moved out, so you're just kind of searching and hunting around trying to find the nearest loosest one, and then it all starts to kind of pick its way to bits. Yeah. Oh my god! Oh, I lost the whole thing down there. Ugh. Oh, it's like some weird rock, dirty video. Don't say that, Colin. Get teased, look, these massive cracks. but I want to open up like a cave. Are we going to find a cave or a dinosaur or something? So I don't have to dig loads of stuff out. I just line the walls out and it's all done. Come on, nature, give me a cave. Nah. Still ain't found a cave or a dinosaur.
They've got no chance of finding anything on Mars, have they?
Oh look, we've got lights, yes. One torch, simply not good enough now, so we've got these festoon lights all the way around here. Looks very nice down here. Now, we've gone as far this way as we're going to go for the time being. This is towards the house, so basically we're stopping here. Next off, we're going to start going that way towards the bunker a little bit more. But before we do that, we need to have a little bit of a tidy up. These big rocks, we're basically waiting for the neighbours to go out so I can get the jackhammer down here and smash them up. There's a couple of bits like this ledge in the floor, which just will not come up. And if it does come up in one piece, I mean, we're not going to be able to lift that up. So drag all these down here, ready to smash in, empty the remaining buckets, and then start going that way a little bit. And then basically, of course, next bit is to make the steel liner inside this to have surrounded with concrete. And we've got a new pointy, stabby thing, look, 600mm stroke this time. So it goes a lot higher, so I'm not just like moving it up. Oh, I've got to shift it. Oh, I've got to shift it. Go right in. Ooh. Neighbour's gone out. Let's get jackhammer in. We need to jackhammer, people. We've got to make use of this. I brought a canary down just in case we get any toxic gases down here and we need to escape quickly. Right, attack this side slightly differently. We've basically plasma cutted in half our sheet, so they're only 200 deep. Slot that in first just to hold that front edge up, because I remember on this side it all started to fall in too soon. So we've kind of stopped it from doing that on this one, and then we'll chimble a bit more, put the other half on, get a curvy bit, and then just continue as normal. But there we are. But I've got this to fix again because I've nearly snapped the chisel off the end of it. Oh, Colin, you just keep breaking stuff. Wonderful colinfurze little tip here. If you want to make a ram cover sleeve, just cut the arm off one of your jumpers and Jubilee clip it on at each end. But not a colinfurze hoodie. No! Okay, so we've employed a slightly different method on this. We've basically put mesh up against the top of this because we're thinking that when the concrete surrounds the inner tunnel, it will push up, go through the mesh and kind of seal up against the clay or the rock a lot better than what the flat stuff will. And also, we've got a bit more confident in the fact it's not actually going to collapse on us. Now, you can tell we're getting a little bit closer to the surfaces because my garden slopes down slightly as it goes to the back of the shed, because we've seen little holes in the clay where roots used to be, because this used to be all flower beds before I built the shed. They've rotted away and left these little holes in the rock, which is very nice. So, just got a little bit more to clean out and a little bit more to piggle off, and we're about there. My hair is full of clay. Seems to be the only way to get rid of it. How awesome is this? Yes. Okay, we're pretty much finished digging for this phase of the tunnel. This whole thing is about 6.5 metres, 22 foot long. We've probably been doing it about a month and a half, 2 months. However, the last part, the part when we went that way, about 1.5 metres, 2 metres, that only took us about a week and a half. We're getting so much quicker at it. The big, long hydraulic ram thing we've made is so much better than the short one. So, as progress goes on, we're getting better. Also, we're making zero noise now, pretty much. other than the odd little tap, hammer and thing, you can't hear where we are. Now, we're about halfway across the yard, going towards the house that way, and we're nearly at the end of the shed, popping out into the garden in that direction. Now, next up is to build the tunnel within the tunnel. All this framing and everything, this is just support structure to hold this thing up. So what we're going to do now, we're going to build another tunnel within this, surround it by concrete, and then it'll look just like the tunnel that goes towards the bunker. So that is the next video. Do not miss that. Once we've got all that sorted, shored up, safe, it's concreted, we've got power, proper lights, then the next thing, full beans, connect it into the house. Boom. See you there. Subscribe. This has to be one of the most... what's the word? This has to be the most favourite project ever I think I've ever done. It just ticks all the boxes. I love it. Come on. See you in the next one.